Thank you for joining us today. It is currently November 8th of 2024. We're bringing you, as promised, our updated information regarding the SAT and the ACT and college admissions. And really, the news flash is this: the TLDR version, uh, they're still required and increasingly becoming desired or required, the SAT and the ACT for the college admissions and even for scholarships. Byron, are you seeing that in Albuquerque as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is happening here, but I think that the trend is over the country, all over the country, from what I've seen. And I think we're getting a reaction from what we saw during COVID, right? And people weren't able to take tests; they weren't able to go online for these tests or go to physical locations, and so um, there's a lot of other factors too. But yeah, it just they just kind of gave up, and they were, allowing people to, just submit their GPAs and so forth. And well, what was happening in the schools is that, well, they were relaxing their standards as well, right? So people were getting grades that, well, they may not have earned, right? And so we've seen what's happened because of that, and more of the colleges are saying, hey, we need to really have a solid standard, to uphold here with our students. And one of the best ways we can do that is the standardized tests that we had been doing, you know. And so I think that really is the reaction. And of course, as well, it's been made easier, particularly with the SAT right now, which has been converted to a digital version. So that's kind of helped out, and ACT is on board to get that done this next spring as well. So it's easier. It's a better way of measuring the standards, and it does kind of level the playing field, actually.
Yeah, so yeah, there was definitely great inflation with the standardized test vacation, and but yeah, that's absolutely the case. Which in the end, what it really did is it made the job of college admissions officers very difficult. They, even though they had 2x or 3x the number of applications, they didn't 3x their admissions crew. And so many long nights, weekends, reading applications and everything, and sort of the sad fact was in that couple of years during COVID, when students were admitted at highly selective institutions without the test scores, it was a big increase in people that did not succeed in their first year of college. So that's one of the reasons why those tests were brought back. And as you said, with the grade inflation, it's really a triangulation. Now, certainly there are pros and cons to the whole standardized testing routine, but the bottom line is it's back. It's increasingly back for
Yeah.
admissions and even for the scholarships themselves. Um, the other interesting thing, Byron, is given the trend, if somebody wants to just test it out and see how might they take a start in terms of test prep and see whether they want to even go down that path.
Well, it's a very worthwhile endeavor, I would say. If you're seriously thinking about college, or at least considering it, this is something that you're going to want to do and prepare for the SAT or SAT. And the best way you can do that, with a painless way of doing that, is to take a practice test.
Well,
And
maybe painless on the parents' wallet, but not on the kids that have to take 3 hours of testing.
Uh, well, yes, the SAT is about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the ACT is just under 3 hours. So, but it's painless in the sense that, you're going to get the results for yourself, right? And you don't have to, feel intimidated by anybody or any of their standards. If you've done your homework, you've reached out to the schools anyway, and you found out what they're looking for, what they prefer, if they have a preference, what scores, standards that they have. And then when you take a practice test, you have something to compare it to. So, you can do that by, going to the college board, getting a practice test, or you can go to a test prep professional like Tutor Doctor. And, we've got lots and lots of practice tests, which are actually old or previously used real live tests. So you're going to be getting tested on real live information. You'll be able to get those scores. And certainly with ours, we've got such really, what's the word I want to use? Some granular level of data that is going to really highlight some the areas that we can specifically help you with in a lot of ways, not just in content, but in terms of timing, pacing, and so forth. So we can get a lot of information for you, and you'll have good information instead of, going, well, I think I should, or maybe I shouldn't, whatever. No, you can have real data here that will tell you where you're at, what you're comparing yourself to, and what you need to do. And when you have that information, you can make better decisions about what you should do. And so, and that'll, and another thing that will include is, why not take an ACT and an SAT if you have that opportunity, a practice test, find out which of those tests you're more comfortable with. Those tests are made differently. You are made differently. And when you take that test, you will get some good information. Now, another resource that Tutor Doctor offers is an assessment, a cognitive skills assessment that will measure, which of those two tests you're more inclined because of your own cognitive abilities, would be more inclined or best be able to demonstrate your strengths.
So at the risk of seeming like the Grinch that stole Thanksgiving, and are recommending that they take an SAT or an ACT practice or both practice tests during Thanksgiving break. I'll be the Grinch next time. I'll wear my costume. But there is great value to that, as you just said, Byron, because that way they can take the test, determine which one of them they like the feel of, because the reality is most students will score approximately the same in either exam, but they may have a preference for one than the other. As you said, they're designed differently. So that's a great recommendation. And the other good news is you can get them for free. Go to the collegeboard.org website for the SAT and download their Blue Book app to take the test, or go to the ACT.org website to download their PDF version of it as it currently exists, and take those tests on separate days. And then once you're done with that, contact your local tutor doctor office to discuss the results, and a free consultation just to go through and determine, hey, do I even want to do test prep? Do I need test prep? And if so, which of the two exams should I pursue? Since they're roughly 50-50 nationwide still. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of great benefit to doing that. It'll put you in stronger footing for admissions, definitely for merit-based scholarships. And the bottom line is you'll know where you stand as a student. So Byron, those are great tips. How can they reach their local tutor doctor office?
Well, you can just watch the scroll below. You can call us at 1-800-488-8677. We've got offices all throughout the United States. You can go to our website, tutordoctor.com, and you'll see, you'll be able to contact us there too. And if you like the information that you have here on this video, you can share it with a friend. You can go to our YouTube channel, which is at Admitted Advice on College Plans. So at Admitted Advice on College Plans. So take a look at those videos, share it with your friends, and you can do this together with a friend.
Thank you, Byron. And I hope you found this informative. And stay tuned for our next video regarding college prep, all things college prep. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.